All right, let's get through 17.2 from Murach C#, which is working with a binary file. We've just completed 17.1. If you haven't done 17.1, go back to that video, do that one first. And I have my 17.1 directory here. You're probably maybe at this point, right, where you have your directory and you just zipped it up, right? I'll just do, there you go, you just zipped it up. All right, so we're going to take this directory, the 17.1 that you were just working on, the one that you zipped, and we're going to make a copy of it. So with it selected, Control-CV, copy paste, and now we have 17.1 customer text. I add vid in there because I'm recording a video, copy. And let's rename that, so F2, this is going to be 17.2 customer binary. I'm going to keep the vid there, but I'm going to get rid of the word copy. So I have 17.2 customer binary. It's a copy of 17.1. And then let's open that up. And we need to modify this so instead of using text files, it's using a binary file. So we'll start at the top. The directory is going to be the same. Instead of customers.txt, it's customers.dat. We still need the path, and we don't need separator anymore because binary files don't worry about separators. I'm just trying to think how I want to do this. If I want to edit this or if I want to just rewrite it. So much is the same. I'm just going to edit it. So instead of a stream writer, I have a binary writer. And instead of text out, I'm going to have binary out. That's just my variable name. And we still are building this based on a file stream. The path is still the path. We're still going to create the file. So clobber over what's there. And we're opening it for writing. We still need to loop through our customers. But now we're not doing this text out.write. We're doing binary out. And we don't need the separator. All we're doing is writing the data. And write line does not exist. We are just going to write. So as we loop through our customers, we do binary out.write, and we write a string and a string and a string. And it's important to know what you are writing. All right, for this particular exercise, it's actually pretty easy because everything's a string. But if you had string, decimal string, you would need to know that because when we read it, we specify how we're reading the data. All right, so that is save customers. We write 3 strings. Now we need to modify get customers. So we'll come through here again. Stream reader, nope. We want a binary reader. And that still is being built on that file path. And we're going to call it binary in. And we're still going to be peeking. So we still run this loop to see what's next. But instead of just peek, we use peek char. So we try to get the next character. And if the next character exists, we're going to run some code. But if you can't get the next character, then we're done. And what is the code that we're going to run? Well, and get rid of all this string stuff. I'm going to take it all the way back here. And hopefully you've got your new customer doing first name, last name, email, because I'm going to be using those variables in this example. If you don't, that's no big deal. We'll get there in a moment. So I'm going to say string first name equals binary in dot read string. Can you guess where I'm going with this? String last name and then string email. Remember, we wrote string, 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 so we read string, string, string. Now we create our customer using those first name, last name, email strings, and then add the customer to the list. Yes, you could just write customer equals new customer, binary in read string, binary in read string, binary in read string. I feel like this is more obvious. When you look at this code, you know what these things are. All right, if I had, you don't have to do this. If instead I had this, to me, that's not very easy to understand what's going on. Customer equals new customer, read a string, read a string, read a string. Right? I have no idea what these strings are. I don't know what they mean. Versus up here, we specifically say that the first string we read is the first name, and the next one is the last name, and the third one is email. And then we create a new customer using those variables and add them to the list. I think this just is easier to read. So sometimes the code that's easiest to read is not the most efficient. That's probably most likely the case most of the time, right? You can write code much more efficient. I mean, we could write all this in one line if we wanted to. which would be highly efficient, but hard to read. All right, I blabbed on long enough. Let's do this. So I'm going to now add Chester tester test@test.com. Exit out. So this is that data in binary. All right, which is very different than reading it this way as a text file. By the way, we're not using this text file anymore. You could delete that if you want to. And when I run my application again, it then opens the binary file, and it read that next user. So just test this a few times, make sure it works. And I think that is it for 17.2. It is. So now take 17.2, be careful, make sure you get the right one. We're talking about this 17.2 binary. Zip that and submit it.